The Jackal's Redemption, an original 3rd edition adventure for Dungeons and Dragons. Published in Dungeon Magazine 95, pages 17 through 36. This is a 19-page adventure with original artwork, original maps, although I've updated the maps via Dungeon Draft as well. To show some of the artwork, this is a full-page spread. This adventure deals with a lot of fiends of different types, and a very nice variety of them. Here's the tower, which is a major part of the adventure, Belrat's Tower. As you get down here, the adventure was written by Chad McPhee and Greg Opendisano, artwork by Richard Witters, cartography by Kyle Hunter and Rick Atchberger. Adventure gives you a summary and preparation of how to run it, background on what happened in this adventure. Essentially, the wizard Belrath inadvertently married an Irinian sorceress named Casmine and was brought into Gehenna, and his attempts to escape led to his tower shifting between the prime material plane, in this case Greyhawk, and Gehenna. And you can place this adventure in any city you wish. It's set for Greyhawk, but I ran it in Forgotten Realms and set it in the north, somewhat northeast of Luskan and northwest of Mirabar. This adventure is great as it has a lot of descriptive text in different areas. As we go through here, you can see some of it, some information, at least in 3rd edition, of scaling the adventure. And the town of Halia's Reach itself. This is the original map of Halia's Reach. I can show you my map as well, which you can see essentially is made for a winter environment. As we continue, we get the description of the town and some additional description of the Wizard's Tower, Belrat's Tower, which is the first area the players come to, which has a number of traps. Again, I ran this adventure in 5th edition by updating the adventure. It's fairly easy to update. You really just have to bring in the monsters from the new Monsters Manual, and there's a couple of oddball monsters you have to bring in, like the Zills or the Smoke Para-Elemental in it, although there are conversions for it that you can probably find online fairly easily. There's the original map for Belrat's Tower itself, and again, this is my version of the map via Dungeon Draft. You go further in, you get the descriptions of that set tower. But the interesting thing about the adventure is, although it begins in the prime material plane with this tower adventure, the tower shifts you directly to Casmine's hideout in Gehenna, essentially in a cave. This is Casmine as well. It's a very hot environment due to its magma. Descriptions of the cave and different creatures. There are a number of Zills in this adventure, some of which in 3rd edition had levels, such as 4 levels of cleric for this Zill. Casmine also has several levels of sorcerer. Although, if you wish, you can remove those and just make her an Arrhenius and make the Zills a simple Zill. If you want to be a purist, you can add in the levels. I didn't run it with any additional levels, and I thought it ran fine. Some fire elemental, a few traps, and this is the main map for Casmine Hideout. Now, I redid this map for Dungeon Draft, and I had to break it into 4 pieces. I'm going to show you 2 pieces of it, as I have it cut right here. The lower section, which is where the tower appears in the center of the most central part of the rocky area there. And the upper section, which you can see Casmine's bedchamber, a large room with a bath and many pillows, and a chamber where there are many corpses, some storage, some various beds. You can see how it corresponds to the original map as well. Now, Belrath is a prisoner here of his wife and being guarded by a couple of Mezzoloths. The marriage did not go well, if you can imagine. He's easy to transfer as a mage into 5th edition, and he makes an excellent NPC if you're able to free him alive and get him back to the prime material plane. There are also some imps. There's Casmine's basic stats, a random D&D comic that's not part of this adventure, but is published here. and the conclusion of the adventure itself. Now, going into the additional details, this adventure is very good because of its variety of creatures. The fact that it doesn't just have one environment in which the adventure takes place, it goes into a very different, surprising environment and allows you to explore that cave system fairly well. It is a very good, unique concept, and overall, there are some surprises just in the fact that you're going into Kahina and players don't necessarily know what they're getting into. The only bad I would say about the adventure is I felt like the map for Halia's Reach was a little underwhelming and could have been thought out and designed a little better. But other than that, I would rate this adventure 5 stars out of 5 stars and would highly recommend it for a high level campaign or mid level in the 9th or 10th range, especially if you want to explore some of the lower planes or even just visit there briefly.